The shoes my father left behind, a touching story about love, sacrifice, and family. When I was a little boy, I never understood why my father wore the same old shoes every day. They were brown leather shoes, cracked on the sides, with the soles nearly worn out. No matter the weather, rain, sun, or snow, those were the shoes he wore. "Why don't you buy new shoes, Baba?" I would ask. He would smile, ruffle my hair, and say, "Because these shoes still have a few good steps left, son." I didn't get it back then. But I do now. We lived in a small house in a quiet village. My father worked as a carpenter. He built furniture for people, repaired doors, and sometimes made wooden toys for the village children. He didn't earn much, but he worked hard, every single day. And every morning, before the sun had even risen, I would hear the squeak of those old shoes as he stepped out the door. When he came home, his hands would be dusty, his clothes sweaty, but his face always smiling. One winter, I remember I needed a new school uniform. Mine was too short and the sweater had holes. I didn't want to go to school like that. I was embarrassed. That night, my father came home carrying a small package wrapped in brown paper. Inside was a brand new school uniform and a warm sweater. I was overjoyed. But when I looked down, I noticed something. The soles of his old shoes were now patched with tape. "Did you buy new shoes too, Baba?" I asked. He looked at me and said gently, "No, son. These shoes still have a few good steps left." I didn't say anything. But I remember lying in bed that night, wondering how many good steps could be left in shoes that barely held together. Years passed. I grew older. I finished school and moved to the city for college. My father stayed in the village, still working with his hands, still wearing those shoes, though now they were more tape than leather. Every time I came home to visit, I saw them sitting by the door, faithful, worn, and still carrying my father through each day. Then, one winter, everything changed. I got a call that my father had fallen ill. I rushed home. He was lying in bed, pale and weak, but he smiled when he saw me. "I'm proud of you, son," he whispered. "You've walked far. Keep walking." A few days later, he passed away quietly in his sleep. After the funeral, I sat alone in his workshop, surrounded by the smell of wood and sawdust. And there, near the doorway, were his shoes. I picked them up. They were light, worn, silent now. But as I held them, memories poured in, of laughter, of warmth, of sacrifice. Every step he took in those shoes was for me. Every crack in the leather, every worn-out sole, told a story of love. And suddenly, I understood. He didn't wear those shoes because he had no choice. He wore them because he chose to give me everything he had, even if it meant keeping less for himself. He gave me his steps so I could walk further. Now, years later, I keep those shoes on a shelf in my office. I look at them every morning before I go to work. They remind me that love isn't always loud or shiny. Sometimes, it walks quietly beside you in old, tired shoes. Moral of the story: parents often sacrifice their own comfort so their children can have a better life. Never forget the quiet love that walks with you every step of the way.